Hey guys, this is Aaron Richardson at Ragnar Forge. Today I'm going to actually tell you a story. So blacksmithing has got a lot of really great folklore, folk stories, and this is one of my favorites. It's called St. Peter and the Wicked Blacksmith. So there was a blacksmith in this town. He was the only blacksmith, and he was kind of cranky and kind of mean. There's three things he hated the most. He hated when kids would grab his hammer and smash rock with it, his forging hammer. And the reason for that probably is because when you have a forging hammer, if you got any marks in it, those marks transfer to whatever you're working on. And so you want a nice, clean, smooth, polished hammer. So he couldn't have that if the kids were using it to smash rock. So that was the first thing that he really hated. The second thing is when people would come into his shop and sit in his rocking chair and rock it without asking him. So, and then the third thing that he really hated was when people would hit roses from his rose bush outside his forge. He'd just rip one off and take it and walk away with it. He really hated that. So one day, St. Peter was walking down the road and disguised as an old man. So the blacksmith saw him and invited him into his shop, sat him down in the rocking chair, got him some lemonade, made sure that he was comfortable and that he was feeling all right. And when St. Peter saw this, he said, "Well, you must be a really good man, so I'll grant you 3 wishes." So the blacksmith said, "All right, for my first wish, I want anyone who picks up my hammer without my permission, I want them to have to swing it until I tell them they can stop. For my second wish, I want anyone who sits in my rocking chair to keep rocking in it until I tell them they can get out. If they sit down in it without asking, they've just got to rock until I tell them that they can get out." And the third thing he asked for was he wanted that whenever anyone tried to steal a rose off his rose bush, that the rose bush would pull him in and prick him and sting him with the thorns until he said that they could get out. Now, St. Peter said, "Blacksmith, you really shouldn't do that. I thought you were a good man. That's like really a terrible thing that you're asking. But I'm a man of my word, so if that's really what you want, that's what you'll get in the blacksmith." Yeah, I'm sure. That's what I want. Those 3 things. So St. Peter said, "All right," and he granted that wish, and then he left. So, that took effect, and whenever anybody did one of those things, they had that happen to them. And so people, they liked him even less. Not really he became even less well-liked in the town. Now, eventually, it was time for him to die, and so the devil sent his youngest son to go and collect the blacksmith and bring him to hell. And so the youngest son got there and said, "Mr. Blacksmith, my father is the devil, and he sent me to come take you to hell." He said, "Well, I've got to finish this order for today before I can go with you. So, why don't you help me?" He said, "All right, Mr. Blacksmith, I'll help you finish." And so he came and he grabbed the hammer. Now, because of the wish that he got from St. Peter, once he grabbed that hammer, he had to keep swinging until the blacksmith told him he could stop. And so he kept swinging, and the blacksmith kept working. And he kept swinging, and the blacksmith kept working. And that went on for the entire day. But by the end of the day, he was swinging so hard and so fast that the blacksmith was able to get an entire week's worth of work done in that day. Finally, the youngest son of the devil was so tired and worn out that he said, "Please, Mr. Blacksmith, can I just go home? You don't have to come with me." He said, "All right, you can stop." And he left, and he went and told the devil what had happened. So the devil sent his second son, and he got there, and he said, "Mr. Blacksmith, you got to come with me right now. My dad sent me to come and get you, and I'm taking you straight to hell." Now, the blacksmith said, "I'm busy, I'm working, I can't come with you right now. As soon as I finish this project, though, I can come with you. So why don't you sit right there in that rocking chair?" So he sat down in the chair and started rocking back and forth. And, the devil's son was getting pretty angry, pretty upset. He just sat there, though. until it was spinning and rocking so fast it looked almost like a tornado. Finally, in a meek little voice, he said, "Mr. Blacksmith, please can I go home? You don't have to come with me." The blacksmith said, "All right, you can go." Now, when he got back and he told the devil was very, very angry. So he said, "I'm going to go get that blacksmith and I'm going to drag him straight to hell myself." So he went and he appeared in a big cloud of brimstone and sulfur, and for a blacksmith burning coal in his fire, that was not very impressive or distressing. Now, he said, "Blacksmith, I'm going to grab a switch off your rose bush here and I'm going to whip you with it. And then I'm going to take you straight to hell." So he went and tried to rip a branch off of that rose bush. But as soon as he grabbed it, it pulled him in and started sticking him with thorns and stinging him. And that continued for hours and hours until the devil finally said, "Mr. Blacksmith, please can I go home? You don't have to come with me." The blacksmith said, "All right, you can get up and leave." And so he left. So the blacksmith just kept working and working until he was finally ready to be done living. And he went up to St. Peter at the pearly gates. He said, "St. Peter, you going to let me in?" St. Peter said, "No, you are a wicked blacksmith. I can't let you in here." So he went down to hell, and the devil's son saw him and went running and got their father, and he said, "I'm not going to let you in here either. I think you'd take over." And so the blacksmith went off on his own and set up his own little place somewhere in limbo where he spent the rest of his time, I guess. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that, like and subscribe. I'll try and be back with some other stories of blacksmithing folklore and legend. Thanks. Bye-bye.